when we talk about woke, like how, all the extendeds, it's woke September, woke October, me being the woke therapist, all of that is talking about awakening. It's talking about awareness, like being here, being present in the moment, taking the blinders off of your eyes, needing to see who you are, where you are, and what you're doing. Understanding that yes, there are X factors in life, but everything is very much in your control to some way or another, even if it's something as simplistic of how you think about it, right? But the thing that's so important and the thing that's so empowering, like I've said to you guys before about, the crossroads and how we're manifesting every day through the choices that we're making. It's like the absolute least you can do for yourself is be cognizant and aware of where you are, what you're doing, and why. Is with everything that you guys have experienced individually as the 12 signs this month, the whole purpose of it, like if it was tower moments, it was to shake you awake, to get you to wake up, get out of autopilot, and literally look at your life. What are you doing and why are you doing it, right? Why are you working here? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you're responding like this to stuff. Why? How do you feel that this is going to get you to your end goal? So it's more or less a sobering moment in the most simplistic way to just become present and aware of your immediate surroundings. Who are you? Where are you? And what are you doing? So the first thing that I'm sharing with you guys is the quote that I got for Aquarius in their reading for October. And it says, each one of your values is a brick on the path towards your personal fulfillment. Each one of your values is a brick on the path towards your personal fulfillment. So when we're looking at the meaning of this, it's pretty much saying that the first core foundation upon which you build your life, or a life that is in alignment with truth in so many words, or in what it is that we're tasked with awakening to this October. So this is our Woketober Recap. This is what it is that we get woke to in so many words, right? So when it comes into talking about our values, we can say that, we can say, oh yeah, the foundation of my life is built on my values. And it's like, what are your values? And usually, I don't think I've ever met another adult who off GP was able to spit their values off, right? This is something that I realized on my own personal growth process, which is the reason why, I explain things to you guys the way that I do, is because these are all elements that I realized on my personal growth journey that were lacking. Right? I literally, because when we use words so much, they lose their meaning. We lose the conviction behind them and we water them down when they become, overused in so many words. And values is one of those words. It's like, oh, I know what my values are. Just like a person could be like, oh, I love myself. Of course yes, I self-love. But you ask a person, what does that look like? What are the tangible action steps for one to love themselves? And people usually can't answer that, right? Or if we look at it in the sense of forgiveness, that was another thing on my personal journey, is I asked a myriad of different people, like, what does forgiveness mean? And I would get a myriad of different explanations, but it was never anything that I could stick my teeth into, because it's like, well, if I'm learning how to forgive people, it's like, me just saying, I forgive you, or, praying every night, Lord, please help me forgive them. That's not taking the anger and bitterness away. So what is the process for this, right? Because every single concept, every single school of thought should translate into a theory and then a process that can be practically applied. If it doesn't, it's not of any use to us. And I mean, I can't say that for everybody, but I mean, for me personally, because I'm just a grounded person, I have no value in lofty conceptual thoughts. That does nothing for me. It's like, I can understand this conceptually, But if this isn't making my experience better or, improving my quality of life, it's neither here nor there for me. Like, I would rather just not know the concept if it can't do anything to improve my life. So I say all of that to say, a lot of research that I did on my own journey was on words like forgiveness or, personal values, because these are things that I felt like needed to be reintroduced into our reality and our personal development processes, because these are tenets of a person's identity and personhood and development. Because it's pretty much like, I don't know if y'all know what a roux is. My people from New Orleans do. I think my French people do, because we kind of took that from y'all, but it's neither here nor there. But it's like a roux, which would be the base flavoring for like a cooking recipe. It's like values and things of the sort are those basic tenets, like the flavoring for your identity development, for your personal development, in so many words. So these are things that need to be known, and not in a, passive kind of sense, like, I value self-love and forgiveness, but I don't really understand what those concepts really mean or how to practically apply them in so many words. So the first question that we have is, what are your core values? That's reflection question number 1. If you don't know what those are, you can answer that question however you feel led to answer it. But if you don't know what your core values are, then you can go over to my website, and on my website I have a values exercise that you guys can do yourself, that I use with my clients on how to unearth your core values. Your specific truth. The ideal foundation to build one's life on is their values, because each one of those values that make up the foundation of who you are, or your lifestyle, what you stand for, what you believe in, so on and so forth, each of these creates the path to your fulfillment. Because when you know your values, you stand on your values and walk on these values as your path forward, right? You acting in accordance with your truth, what you build your life on, that's the fast track to you being fulfilled, aka your 10 of Cups, in so many words. Your full on ideal emotional state, right? Because there's a synchronicity, there's a balance, there's a reciprocal give and take. So it's more or less, regardless of X factors that come onto your path, it's the fact that you can't be swayed because you know what you're standing on, and there's no desire to stand on anything other than those values. I'm going to do a webinar on this. So after you watch this, go over there. You guys can do the exercise yourself. And if you want to sign up for the webinar, then go ahead and do that on the website. Going into our reflection questions, my friend. So if you don't already have your notebook, get it out now, because these are things that I feel are going to behoove you all to reflect on going into November and before you watch your specific sign reading for November. So question number 1 is, what are your core values? Question number 2 is, what is truth? What is your truth? How do you live it? Question number 3, how do you define authenticity? Are you authentic? What's stopping you from being authentic? How can you align more with your authenticity? Question number 4, what are you passionate about? What is your purpose, calling, or mission? Why do you believe you are here? I told y'all these questions got extra deep, okay? Number 5, integrity means acting in accordance with your values. Are you practicing integrity? Number 6, what path are you on? Where are you coming from? Where are you going? Number 7, what are your personal goals for November? And they can be general, or you can break them down into like career, you know, relationships, finance, personal growth, whatever. It's up to you. And lastly, number 8, what needs to change in your life? What needs your immediate attention? What is out of balance? But that's all I have for you, my wonderful people. This was wonderful. Let me know what you think in the comments. I love your freaking face. I hope this information was helpful. You know what I'm saying? And I will see you guys in your November reads. Keep an eye out for that. I love your face. Deuces.
Only the name